What's up guys, my name's Akela and today we are going to take a look at my project called You, which I released back in 2020 on Sora Music, and I would like to give you an overview of the project and show you the stuff I did. It's a pretty big project actually, it's like 120 tracks, but most of my projects are, so this is nothing new. I really like this number, so I decided to give you a little bit of a walkthrough to the whole project and show you how it's made. So we are now in Ableton Live and this is what the project actually looks like. As you can see, it's like 104 tracks. I also deleted the master chain of it, so I just put a limiter on here, because I do the mastering separately in another project, and yeah, it's not done in this project as well, so I just put a limiter on here to make it sound better for you. So let's take a look how the project actually sounds.
I'm always thinking about you. I'm always thinking about you. I'm always thinking about you. I'm always thinking about you.
Oh, I'm vibing this already again. I haven't heard the track for a long time, so it's kind of nice if you listen back to an older track you made. And yeah, let's start with the break. And this is the yellow one. Oh, I'm sorry, the purple one is the break section over here. Let's solo this. So as you can see, there is a re-space running around. Oh, it's actually just a sub bass. A piano and a higher piano as well. This one is from Contact, one is Spire, and some soft sauce from Serum doing kind of a wobbly thing with an LFO. And this one as well. This is very, very quiet in the mix, but it's kind of nice to give you that high end through the whole breakdown. And there is actually not much happening in the drum section, it's just some claps. Yeah.
I'm always thinking about you.
And obviously the vocal I will touch later on, but what else do we have? We have these big room saws here, it's called super saws. I do have quite a few layers over here. And a horn. This one's from Jonas Aiden sample pack, I guess. Sounds like this, with just a tiny bit of reverb on, and then of course super saws over here. There is also a sub bass into this section, and what makes this so big is like the combination of all the layers together, because it's not just like I've put 6 layers playing the same chord over and over again, but I've kind of switched the chords around, playing different notes, and therefore it just sounds big and wide and open. And that's the reason why the big roomy part, break part, is kind of uplifting already. And it bleeds here as well. build-up is kind of self-explanatory because I'm using a build snare, I'm using a Zen World snare up as well. I'm always stuck on the same chord for the whole build-up, and I'm repeating the vocals again and again, just with a little uplifter over here. Sub and chords are playing the same notes and chords as well, and that's pretty much it for the build-up, nothing fancy over here. I do have the leads right before the drop hits. Kind of an uplifting feeling for the drop. The drop is where it gets interesting, kinda. So I think the leads are the most important and most complicated part in the whole track, because on the sheet it's looking quite easy and it sounds easy as well. But as you can hear, the reverb automation on the leads is kinda complicated, and I will show you that in a second. Let me see. I do have an auto pen switching on here. So you can see the auto pen always switches on when this kind of fadey thing happens on the leads. It almost sounds like an LFO doing something, but it's actually a pen left to right, but just very fast automated. And then I have the reverb automations. So the reverb gets louder from time to time. You can see the red dots over there. They're just increasing the volume of the reverb. And another thing I did here was to automate the reverb on and off. So actually the reverb starts and stops. The reverb stops after each note, as you can see in this automation. So whenever a new note is playing, I will cut off the reverb and reset it, so the reverb does not interfere with the next note. As soon as the next note is playing, the reverb is already switched off and back on again, so it resets. And this is what it gives the track, this bouncy feeling, I think. So you can hear that the reverb is not interfering with the next note in any situation. It always resets whenever the next note is playing. Then I have some reversed lead on the break, first part. This one gives a nice atmospheric feel to this. What else do I have on the leads? I'm cutting the reverb entirely, but just making it to 0 dB for these first 4 notes. So in this section over here, the reverb is actually off. And it comes back on later. And with the on and off switches of the reverb, it actually gets kind of bouncy. And along with the bass, I just solo the bass for now. Bass is just 4 layers, and it plays a similar melody to what the lead is playing, but actually just on the root note. And along with the drums, the bass sounds like this. The reversed lead into it. Then I also have the wobble synth. I use that on Sunrise as well. Sounds like this. Oh, and I have a clicky percussion ad for the leads. This one is a trick I've learned earlier this year. It just makes the lead attack a little bit better. It's not in the lead group, so it can be sidechained differently. And this on its own sounds like this. If you add the leads. you can clearly hear what the purpose of this section is. It just gives a little bit of an attack to the lead. And then I have the chords as well. Those are paired with the leads. I'm sending the chords and the leads to a bus called the chords leads bus, and this is just doing nothing. I disabled the compressor actually because it didn't sound good. Usually I used to compress my leads and chords all together to get it more glued up, but in this case it wasn't necessary. So let me show you the chords. And with the leads. Yeah, and basically that's the whole drop in a nutshell. There is some more like bass scrolls in it. This one. And this one is a human voice. That is used in almost every track of mine. I don't know why. Just a signature sound probably. And yes, not much effects. I've used all the effects into the drums section. The drum section, you hear a little white noise here and there playing. And then I've sent the drums towards a bus, which is parallel compressing those once again, like so. So I'm sending a drum signal into the master and a parallel processed drum signal into the master as well. They both mixed together, almost equally loud. The parallel bus is actually a little bit louder, but it's more squashed, so it has more impact and power, and that's nice. That's what I wanted on this track. Then moving on to the next section is break number 2. This one is kind of a chill down section here. A breakbeat introduces, which is just a sample like this. Opening up a filter. And this is an important part, because this part is leading towards the next part, which is playing the chords from the beginning again, but just 5 semitones up. So I transposed the whole track 5 semitones. I did not transpose the whole track actually, but every section on its own. So this part is needed to introduce the higher part. Let's take a listen again. So you can hear that the whole part is pitched up 5 semitones. I had to select every MIDI clip on its own and pitch it up 5 semitones, also with the samples. But this just gives the track such a nice vibe and a little bit of an organic feel towards it, although it's fully electronic produced, if that makes sense. And yeah, after that part it drops back into the drop, but on the normal register or the normal octave. The key actually is not changing, it's just this one section where I increase the whole track 5 semitones. And back. So the whole super saw part is going up 5 semitones as well with the sub. I'm introducing a new bass, this one. Kind of an aggressive mid bass over here. And yeah, that's it for this part. Also the horns are playing higher. I introduced more claps in this part. Like so. And that's it pretty much for the whole thing. Then I have the vocals. Let's take a look on this.
I'm always thinking about you. I'm always thinking about you. I'm always thinking about you.
So the vocals is a splice sample which I found, but I think I transposed it somehow to make it unrecognizable, just one semitone. That's fine actually. I do have a lead vocal.
I'm always thinking about you. I'm always thinking about.
Somehow I doubled it. Oh, this one is disabled, okay. And then I increased it by an octave to make it wider a little bit. I've added some some bends into that. Some reversed reverb things. And then I also added this one. It's a vocal shot. And this one. The first one is from Splice also. It's just a different sample pack. And the second one is from Jonas Aiden's Tiesto remix. Also a sample shot. But altogether it sounds pretty well rounded. That's why I decided to use it.
I'm always thinking about you. I'm always thinking about you. I'm always thinking about you. I'm always thinking about you.
Yeah. And the vocal also appears in the drop, but just the vocal shot one, as you can hear. So I pitched that one up to fit the drop. It's like 12 semitones up. And yeah, that's it. That's the whole track. It's really simple, but it's kind of powerful, and that's what I like. Simplicity, strength, guys. Simplicity, strength. So, with that being said, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my little breakdown video of You, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.